and good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1310. Happy Thursday. Did some sorting last night, sorting some Cubs. Did a lot of listing. Yesterday was a long work day. Tackled some shipping and listing. I loaded up over 200 auctions. I think 120 auctions went live last night. Another 80 will go live tonight in my eBay store, 99centcards.com. We had some auctions ending last night. Had some fun stuff end last night. So a busy day. And then I logged last night, some Cubs on trading card database. And then I was going through duplicates and I'm like, do I log all of these cards? Or maybe I just put the duplicates set aside, put them on eBay, put them on collects, put them in a quarter box for the upcoming Chicago Sports Spectacular. So that's what I did. I did climb the rankings. I think I'm at 179. I moved a couple spots up in the trading card database Cubs rankings. We went through, I uploaded a couple yesterday live on the show, and I'm like, this is fun. I need to take an hour of my day. I don't think I took one full hour at a time, but I did log a couple different times throughout the day and maybe spend an hour total. But yeah, that was fun. Hey, something I failed to, and I apologize, I failed to mention on Sunday, reviewing the Madison Card Show. It's a lot of things I forget if I don't have them. And then all of a sudden I realize I'm like, oh shit. Cause I picked up a few things at the Madison Card Show on Sunday. And sometimes I fail to remember. So I got to shout out Cody. And I think Cody watches Hobby Evolution. He mentioned the show and he's like, yeah, I've been watching your YouTube and I heard you talking about Pearl Jam. And last month I wore my Pearl Jam shirt to the show. And so he's like, I got something for you. So shout out to Cody. Look at this. So this is, I missed the days of burned CDs, but this is the Alpine Valley show from 2003 with ticket stub. How about that? Pearl Jam at Alpine Valley, June 21st, 2003. I was not at the show, but I did see Pearl Jam that year in Champaign, Illinois. Also gave me the Pearl Jam Live on Two Legs album. Now, I may be one of 17 people that still has a CD player in my car, so I might just throw one of these CDs in. And this, I believe, is the bootleg. And maybe this isn't bootleg, but Pearl Jam releases CDs of their concerts. So this is their East Troy, Wisconsin show from 2000, October 8th, 2000. And how about that? The ticket stub is taped onto the CD. That's pretty damn cool. So thank you, Cody, for the Pearl Jam CDs and this ticket stub to go with the live show. Super cool. So, and I was telling him, I'm like, the only thing in my collection, like, I don't even, like, I'm a huge Bears fan. Like, I watch every single Bears game. And now this year, I'm a huge Bears. Last year, not so much. The year before, I wasn't really a Bears fan. But this year, I'm a big Bears fan. I am a fair weather Bears fan. I'll admit it. I've been a Bears fan my entire life. I've had other favorite NFL teams. But East Troy, Wisconsin is Alpine. Is East Troy Alpine Valley? I don't know if they would have. It might be. Alpine Valley might be. I don't, because Alpine Valley's out in the middle of nowhere. Does it say on there? I don't know. That could have been the East Troy, Wisconsin show. Could have been Alpine Valley. It was. Yes. Confirmed. East Troy, Wisconsin. Alpine Valley. The ticket stub confirms it. There you go. East Troy, Wisconsin. Alpine Valley. Alpine Valley's out in the middle of nowhere, but East Troy address. Where we at? So, like, I'm a Bears fan, but I don't collect like Walter Payton rookie card you find at an estate sale. That was probably like once it got the min size, then it's like, well, that's a story. but it just doesn't fit my collection. Like, I would have to have like a new area for, and that's how hoarding begins. And I'm already a hoarder, but I hoard baseball cards and football cards and basketball cards and hockey cards and soccer cards. So I don't collect other things, but I have started like several years ago, I started a Pearl Jam mini collection, and I'm not out seeking Pearl Jam stuff. It's basically stuff that people give to me. Andy gave me a whole bunch of stickers. I've got my refrigerator is plastered in Pearl Jam stickers. I've got a Pearl Jam, like a mini guitar that I bought in, I think, Venice, Italy. I've got the vinyl that was spray painted by a spray paint artist in Rome on a sidewalk. That's actually my wife. The only piece of my collection that's on the main floor of our house. And then I've got I've got my Eddie Vedder in Cubs with Cubs gear, Chicago print. I've got a couple Pearl Jam posters. And that's about it. And I've got some CDs. I did pick up, and this is kind of because of what I picked up in Italy when I go overseas, but I didn't find any Pearl Jam stuff in Switzerland. But I did find, I think in Luxembourg or Belgium. I always like to go into record shops when I'm in Europe. And I did pick up in one of those countries, there was a record shop, and they had one was I think it might have been Pearl Jam 10 Japanese version, and then another version of another album that I picked up. So I like to pick up when I'm out of the country, pick up Pearl Jam stuff, because obviously I can't find Cubs stuff in other countries. So thank you, Cody, for gifting me some Pearl Jam CDs. I'll have to pop those in I always forget I have a CD player until the CD button, the button you click to get the CD out is right between is it the volume button? The volume buttons? It might be right between the volume buttons. And so I always hit the CD. It's like, oh, shit. No, and it says no disc. Ah, shit. So my CD player. Zach says, best concert I ever saw, Alpine Valley, Creed. Yeah. Man, that would have been a great show. I went because the opening act was Jerry Cantrell. Excellent. And was blown away by how good Creed performed. So what year would that have been? Was that post Lane Staley? Was Jerry Cantrell traveling as a solo act, or was that before? See, Lane Staley passed away in 2001 or 2002, somewhere in there. Back in the radio days for Zach. I've never been to Alpine Valley. Can you believe that? I live an hour away. Never been to a show at Alpine Valley. Let's see. Where are we at? Andy had a story, I think, up here as well. Andy says, my friend pissed his pants twice at the Alpine Valley show in 2003. My other friend met his future wife there. East Troy is Alpine Valley. There you go. Where are we at? Do we have any other Pearl Jam stories? In the 2003 Alpine show, Eddie says Kerry Wood is on stage. He was joking, though. It was a drunk dude in a Wood jersey that ran on stage. Let's see. Where are we at? John says, I had a colleague who was infatuated with Led Zepp. When we hit Japan on the tour, he ran out and bought all the Zepp CDs. Zach is having a brain fart. Remind me, what VD did you pick up overseas? Vinyl disc. He was bummed to find out Robert Plant wasn't singing in Japanese. He wasted $400 on CDs he already had. Bummer. Stevie Ray died at Alpine Valley in 1990. So there you go. I don't have any Alpine Valley. I've never been. My wife and I talked about a couple years ago going to go see Dave Matthews Band at Alpine Valley. But neither of us are big concert people. And now we're at the age where it's like, oh, there's no seats and blah, blah, blah. I think there are seats at Alpine Valley, but it's mostly lawn. But that's where I'm at. I thought about this. I'm at the age where, I was pulling out of the garage the other day, and I realized that I've finally reached the age where I turn the radio down when I'm backing out of the garage. I just thought that was a weird thing my mom did. When I was a kid, my mom would, she's backing out of the driveway. Shh, gotta be quiet. Turn the radio down. I'm like, come on, you gotta crank it. This is freaking Hootie and the Blowfish, man. You gotta crank this. Shh. Quiet, I'm backing out. Why do we do that? It's like last night I'm coming home and I'm from the post office and I'm cranking Pearl Jam or whatever I'm listening to. It's just cranked. And then you get in the next morning to go back to the post office and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why is this music so loud? What was I doing last night? God, turn that music down. I've got to back out of the driveway. Turn that music down. I can't concentrate on driving out of the driveway. So that's how old I am. Matty Ice is here. Good morning. What's going on? Kevin's here. Good morning, Kevin. Bill Simus in the house. Good morning. Kyle. How about Kyle? I don't know if Kyle should. I don't know. Is Kyle on Facebook? Are you on Facebook? If not, join the Hobby Evolution group if you're not already in. But Kyle did tweet. And I think he mentioned yesterday morning in the chat that he was eagerly anticipating a NASCAR lot that was poorly titled. And boy, did it not disappoint. Like, I'm jealous. And I don't even like NASCAR. And I like the cards even less. But damn, was that a good find. I think there were 3 one-of-ones, ton of autos. So Kyle got a great deal. He said, yesterday was my number one hobby day. So if you are on Twitter, go check out Kyle. Actually, don't just go check it out. I'll show you. Let's see. Can I bring it up real quick? Here we go. Found it. Let's see. Here we go. Let's share the screen. Here's what Kyle found last night or yesterday, or not last night, but here's what he got in the mail yesterday. An amazing bulk buy loaded with big cards. Where's the Twitter? There it is. Those are all one-of-ones. A tire, National Treasures tires, Kevin Harvick, 1-of-1. Anthony Alfredo, never heard of him. Dude Wipes, though, that's pretty cool sponsorship. And I knew the Martin Truex Jr. I'm like, that's a whatever Panini calls their super fractors. Martin Truex Jr. So this is what Kyle got in a lot. I don't know what he paid for it, but he was a Dale Earnhardt Jr. autograph. I didn't even see that. Alex Bowman, William Byron, Derek Cope. I've heard of Derek Cope because he raced like a long time ago. Jeff Gordon auto. Holy shit. Jimmy Johnson race day relic. That looks like a booklet. Brad Keselowski book. Look at all that in one touches. Jesus, this is amazing. I didn't even look at the rest of the pictures. Let's see. No, numbered out of 25. Ryan Blaney autos. Joey Logano auto. So this was all in the bulk by Denny Hamlin auto. Bobby Allison autos. Another Jeff Gordon auto. Jeff Burton, Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace auto. Casey Kane. So stuff is out there. Stuff is out there. ABL, baby. Always be looking. Kyle's always looking. And look at that deal he found. Wow. Gundy 98, good morning. Andy says, stopping at Casey's to see if they have the sausage breakfast pizza. Thank you, Andy. Redeem. Hopefully Casey's redeems themselves. Hopefully Casey's redeems themselves and you get some good sausage breakfast pizza. David's in the house. Good morning. World Series Friday tomorrow. It's only Thursday. Yeah, I thought it was Friday also. Anybody else like, and it's getting dark early. It was like 7:20 last night. We're on the couch. Oh my God. Feels like this is also the age you get where it's 7:00 and you're like, man, it feels like it's 9. I'm ready for bed. I'm like, God, it feels like it's 9:00. And my wife's like, I was just thinking that. I'm like, yep, we're fucking old. We are old. And it's just going to keep getting darker for the next 2 months. Darker and darker. Victor's in the house. Good morning, Victor. George is here. What's happening? Todd says, good morning. Red Sox 2004 comeback now on Netflix. Always good to relive that October. Yeah, my comparison would be the 2016. Every once in a while, I'll turn the 2016 World Series on and remember the good times of that season. Had a little yawn there. I was up early this morning. Ernie woke me up at 5 a.m. And I think Ernie might have woke me up, but I might have woke up myself. But Ernie had to go potty. So we went out and went potty. And I'm like, I might as well just stay up now. Because I usually set my alarm for 6. Usually I wake up before then, but 6 is usually when I get up. So I'm like, I got an extra hour in this morning. We went out and potty, and the coyotes were out, or coyotes, however you would like to pronounce them. It depends. If you're in Arizona, they're the coyotes. If you're in South Dakota, they're the coyotes. The coyotes were out. There's a lot of like farmland not a lot of farmland, but there is some farmland to the northwest of us. And I could hear the coyotes or werewolves, whatever they are. It is October. Could have been the werewolves. And then I don't know if a dog down the street heard them or was just barking at something else, or somebody was breaking into their house. I don't know, but their dog was barking, going crazy. So then Ernie's like fucking crazed. So hopefully he didn't have to poop, because he didn't poop. He did pee. He got his number 1 done this morning, but no number 2s. Let's see. Where are we at? Unicorn Cupcakes in the house. Good morning. Gundy has the Midwest Regional Card Show in Eau Claire this weekend at the Best Western Convention Center. And that's a multi-day show, correct? I think that's their multi-day show. I don't have anything this weekend. Just need to get prepared for next week. My trip to hang out with Cooter and the Dallas Card Show. John knows these town names from the itineraries. Mr. Archer's in the house. Good morning. Cooter is here. Good morning. Peter's in the house. Good morning. Philly Joe is here. What's happening? Zach says it was one single card of the greatest player to ever play for your favorite team. That is true. The Walter Payton rookie card. But here's the thing. I don't want it. I sold it for what? $270. That goes into the business, or I could go buy a Cubs card that I want in my collection. Like, otherwise it's just Walter Payton. Like, I only kind of going back to how we began with Pearl Jam, like in the Cubs, like I only collect like this whole room. I think there's a couple non-Cubs bobbleheads. I think we've gone through this before. There's a Giannis bobblehead. I got that in Italy, because in southern Italy, where it's close to Greece. I think there's a John Mayberry bobblehead back there that my buddy Steve gave me. He picked up an extra, had an extra. He's like, I got 2 of them. My wife doesn't want it. So he gave me the John Mayberry bobblehead. But everything else is like Cubs. And a few select Pearl Jam items. And like, I just don't want Bears stuff. Like, and I've never been a Bears collector. Like, even going back into my football collecting days as a kid, I never collected Bears cards. Like, I always dreamed of having a Jim McMahon rookie card. I never dreamed of having a Walter Payton rookie card. And I probably never dreamed of having a Walter Payton rookie card because it was so, like, I didn't think I would ever be able to afford one. Like, if it was $100 back in 1990, it's going to be $100,000 in today. That wasn't the case, but that's what we thought back then in our 10-year-old minds. But yeah, I never collected Bears stuff. I collected Joe Montana cards. Joe Montana was my favorite player. The Bears were my favorite team. I collected quarterback cards back in the day, but never Bears. I've never had a Bears PC. I've wanted, like, sometimes when I bought like 3 monster boxes of Bears cards in Green Bay of all places. That guy was like, I never thought I'd sell these. And I'm going through them and it's like, oh, these are awesome. But I don't want them. I want to look at them, but I don't want to keep them. Where are we at? Let's see. Zach says probably 2004, maybe 03 when he saw Cantrell. So solo act. Staley was dead. Yeah. So I think Lane Staley passed away in 02. Zach says you've never been to Alpine Valley. Alpine Valley. I've probably been to Alpine Valley. You've never been to Alpine Valley, and you've never kept a Walter Payton rookie card. One is more ridiculous than the other. I have kept a Walter Payton rookie card. I just didn't keep it long term. I kept it for a while. I kept it for a short period of time, and then I sent it off to PSA, and then it bounced over to SGC, and then I had it in my possession, and I kept it for a week, and then I put it at auction, and now somebody else can enjoy it. John says, I'm not a big concert person, even though I've been to over 1,000 of them. Well, that's kind of different. That's kind of like me. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I've been to a bunch of soccer games because it was a working capacity. High school and college soccer. But where are we at? Zach says, stack ranking things I would like to see live. Comedians number 1, 2 magicians, 3 musicians. I like that. So I'd probably go comedians 1, musicians 2, magicians 3. Unless it was like Eddie Vedder and then it's number 1. Like if Eddie Vedder did like a stand-up routine. Actually, he wouldn't do a stand-up routine. He would just get on stage and tell stories. I would pay an ungodly amount of money to go watch Eddie Vedder just tell stories on a stage. Like that would be, and then I'd pay even more for a meet and greet. I would put up ridiculous money to meet Eddie Vedder. The only person that I would care to meet, like living, because you can't go meet dead people. So I always like the question, like, who would you like to meet, like living? And like, I don't even know like who a close second would be. Where's Mark Marinello? Maybe Lacey Chabert. But I'm trying to think of who I would want to meet besides Eddie Vedder. I don't know. That's a tough one. Like, who would you want to meet? Or like have beers with is different. Because there's a lot of like, oh, I'd love to have beers and listen to stories that he tells. I don't know who else I would want to meet. Andy says Alpine Valley is one of the best venues in the country. Brian says, good morning. Congrats to Kyle. George saw live. I've never seen live. Orlando, what's up? Good morning. Zach says, I'm almost positive that I also saw Ozfest at Alpine Valley. Did you forget? Hi, Dan. What's going on? Dan, are you here? Are you listening? I do have an update. I saw the comment pop up at the end of yesterday's chat. And I did provide an update. I don't know if you were here, but I think it was on the weekend when I provided the Triple H update. the Triple H ticket stub, the debut ticket stub. It's off at PSA. Ticket stubs take a really long time. So I did ask my group subber, like, hey, Matt at 5 Star Cards. I'm like, hey, I've got that ticket. Do you know like what the status is on that? And he's like, tickets take a long time. He's like 6 months. So I think I dropped that off in July. So probably January or February, I'll get the ticket stub back. I've held on to it for 30 years, so I'm in no rush to get it back. And I'm going to put it on eBay again for like an ungodly price and just fish for offers. I had a lot of lowball offers. Like I ended up moving because it was just, and it's a beat up ticket, but there's none out there. Like PSA has never graded one. I had like offers of like, well, the condition, like people explaining why they value it at a low point. Like somebody messaged me because they kept getting auto declined because I think I set it to like 500 or something because I don't want to sell it for less than that. I don't want to sell it for less than like 700. And now it's in a PSA. And now once it goes into a PSA slab, I'll probably be firm on what I want because I'll keep it. So yeah, probably January or February. John says, congrats to Kyle. Hopefully the cards are enjoyed in collection for a very long time. The Martin Truex Jr. gold vinyl was loose in a penny sleeve, paid around $1 a card. That's a hell of a deal. Hell of a deal. Kyle said, yes, John, they have found a long-time home in my basement. Royals 417, good morning. John says, pre-cleaning, beginning to think I do all the cleaning and the maids just move a few pillows around. Oh, the pre-clean. I've got to get ready for Monday the pre-clean day. It's like I've got to make sure my desktop is all cleaned up and I just ignore behind me now. They don't mess with that, but got to pick up everything off the floor. John says, Arizona has no coyotes anymore. Moved to Salt Lake City. Oh, that's right. That's right. They're in Utah now. It's not werewolves. It's liberals. Howling at the moon. Dan says, went for some Korean barbecue tonight with friends. Very nice. I had salad last night. My wife had, I hid in the basement. And they had, her team came over and took photos. And then they had like a meeting, their new brokerage. They had like a little powwow thing. And I just hid in the basement the whole time. And it's like, oh, I think the last to leave it. I can go upstairs now. Where was I going with this? Oh, so I went upstairs, dinner, and my wife's like, what do you want for dinner? I'm like, I don't know. I had a salad. My wife I picked up some like turkey, you know, those like pinwheel things in the deli section. I picked up, I like them, but I'm like, well, my wife might like them because she's picky. And I'm like, if I can find anything for her, I'll do it. So she had that. I had salad. I had some red bell peppers left over from my pizza the other night. So I chopped up some bell peppers and an avocado. And what else did I put in there? I put something else in there. Oh, little cherry tomatoes in my salad. So I had a salad. Let's see. John says, isn't it just called barbecue over there, Dan? Bo only follows the Bears during their playoff runs. That's true. When they're competitive. I'm a fair weather fan. John had a friend who was looking for a good Chinese restaurant when we were in Beijing. I said they were all Chinese restaurants. American cheese, just called cheese here? I think not. Oh, Zach's got a good point. Cooter says, we will start festivities by heading straight to MM7 sports cards straight from the airport. Cheers to that. Yes. And speaking of American cheese, in Switzerland, it's not called Swiss cheese. Because I like the first place we went to, I think we did like a food tour with like cheese. And it's like, so what's Swiss cheese? And it's like, well, we don't have Swiss cheese. It's, you know, what Americans, you silly Americans, what you refer to Swiss cheese would be whatever kind, I don't know, in Switzerland, whatever, it's got a name and it's not Swiss. She's like, I think you call Swiss cheese the one with the holes. And she's like, that's not really a thing here. It's like, what? I wonder how Swiss cheese got its name. Swiss in America, Swiss cheese. Mikey's here. What's going on? Good morning. I'm on my way to Terre Haute, Indiana, home of the Sycamores. Have a safe trip. John says, I was raised to call it square cheese. I come from geometry people, I suppose. John wants to know if Mikey needs a passport. Sounds exotic. It's not. I've been there. These circles blow up into any fun shapes, not unless round is funny. Balloons? Zach has a timeshare in Terre Haute. Swanky. PSA had it longer than you had it. I don't think so. It was probably equally shared. SGC had it the least amount of time. PSA didn't have it that long. Cooter says, Zach bringing out the Raising Arizona quotes. Make sure you use my code name. Dan says, I guess that'd be true. My last concert was Sebastian Maniscalco a few weeks ago. Michael Renicke's in the house. John says, does PJ do meet and greet? Seems like the antithesis of what they stand for. They do not. Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder does not do meet and greets. In fact, Eddie Vedder does not do any public appearances or any type of he's very very private, I guess is the term. He's a very private dude. He does sign autographs though. He will sign. He'll play. He usually plays not fantasy baseball. Fantasy camp down in Arizona. And when he's there, he does do he'll sign for people. So he is good. He is good with autographs, but in terms of meet and greets and signings, no, he does not do any of that. John says, I've had dinner with Jeff Wilson and Brian Gray. Reaffirms my belief that I never want to meet another soul in my life again. Porter is here. What's going on? Good morning. Andy says, I think I saw Rage Against the Machine at Alpine Valley. The 12 beers I drank before the show made it a little hazy. I think it was my first Pearl Jam show in Champaign. Was I 21? I had not yet turned 21. I think I was 20. It was 03. So I would have turned 20. It was an April show. So I would have turned 21 in a couple months. So we went to Champaign. I had some friends that were going to U of I. I had some friends at ISU at Illinois State. And then me and my derelict friends that all went to community college. So we hopped in a car. My friend Chuck drove. And I think we piled up 8 people in his, he had one of those 80s, what the hell, was it a Grand Am, Grand Prix? One of those mid 80s cars. So anyway, we pile up and Chuck's driving. And I think it was just me, Chuck, Bill. Was Tim with us? I don't know. I think we took 2 cars because we were piled in once we got to Bloomington. Because Brandy came. Justin might have came with us. So it just might have been those 2 that we picked up. So I think we crammed 6. And then our friends in Champaign. So then I think we took 2 cars to the concert. So we go to ISU. We pick up our friends at ISU. And we're driving between Bloomington and Champaign. And my friend Brandy brings an overnight bag. And we're dudes, so we're just gonna crash on a couch and wake up in the morning and drive home, right? That's what we thought. That's what everybody in the car thought, except for the fucking driver, who says, "Why do you have an overnight bag?" And Brandy's like, "Because we're staying overnight." And Chuck's driving, cruising down the interstate, and he says, "We're not staying the night. We're driving back after the show." And everybody in the car goes, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He goes, "Yeah, I gotta work. No, I gotta work in the morning." Why didn't you tell us this before? Oh, so we get to Champaign. Car full of pissed off late teenagers, or I guess we were in our 20s, very early 20s. We don't have any beer. We're sober. So we've got to get beer. And we can't drink at the show, so we had to chug. And I like binged, drank more than I ever thought I could. So I don't really remember much of the show. And then after the show, I drank so much, and then I think we got McDonald's or something. And we had to pull off the side of the interstate so I could throw up because I had drank so much so fast. Oh, to be in our 20s again. People say, oh, I wish I was young. No, I don't want to go back. Like, I lived it, and I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to go back to those times. Where are we at? Cooter says, did Gray steal fries from your plate, John? Dan says, who is number one on the Cubs list you want to meet that you haven't? I've never met Billy Williams. I've never met Billy Williams. I've never met Mark Grace. Now, he's a guy that I'd like to go out and have beers with, Mark Grace. Let's see. Trying to think. Yeah, probably Billy Williams. Hall of Famer. Sweet swinging Billy Williams. I don't think I've ever met in person Andre Dawson. I don't think I have. I've interviewed him over the phone, but I've never met him in person. So I'd say Billy Williams would be my number one on the Cubs list. But he would be like on the list of people I want to meet. He'd be like way down. He'd be way down. Kyle says Jerry Cantrell and Walter Payton both were outdoorsmen. I've gone hunting with them in my imagination. I'm like, you've gone hunting with them? In my imagination. Aha. Jerry Cantrell went to Rooster. He was that was about what's the story? I bet Andy knows the story. I think the song Rooster was about Jerry Cantrell's dad who was in Vietnam. I think it was kind of like the telling of his dad's story from Vietnam. I think that's how it was. Somebody can correct me in the chat. John says, I have a lock on my basement. Maids can't go down there. Mrs. Cooter has informed me my weekend will be dedicated to pre-cleaning for your visit. Brian says, Bears, we about to find out if they can play in the division. That's right. I think I saw the stat that they don't have, they're 4-2, but they don't have a win against a team with a winning record. So we'll find out. Are the Bears contenders? Or are the Chicago Bears pretenders? We'll find out. Flawed Thinkers in the house. Good morning. And how dare you reply to Brett like that? I am so fucking sick of these goddamn political. I got 6 of them yesterday. 6 text messages telling me about rallies. This one was, these want me to vote for the Democrats. These want me to vote for the Republicans. This is something about Medicare, Wisdoms, Trump unity event. That sounds like something I don't want to go to. In-person absentee voting, I guess. And then Brett Favre sent me a text about voting. If you vote early, does that mean the texts stop? Because I'll do it. I will do it. I'm tired of these text messages. John says Boar's Head is what they call it in Switzerland. Boar's Head. Board Head is the Beckett of lunch meat. Once dominant force, now mid and dangerous. Andy was in the front row for one of the 2016 Pearl Jam Wrigley shows. You can see me in the Let's Play 2 documentary. Awesome. That's freaking cool. I was at the Saturday show. I was up in the stands, in the cheap seats. Tracy, good morning. Peeps in the house, good morning. Andy drove home for 3 hours after the Champagne show. Ditto. And then went to work teaching 3rd grade the next day. I would have called in, but I went to the concert with my principal's son, my college roommate. So we ended up driving back home that night, and I was in college. I may or may not have gone to class. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yes. I was finishing up the semester. I had already started my job. I had already started my new radio job in Macomb. I think I'd started like April 1st of 2003. And then that was like one of the things like, oh, I can't work. So I think I just had the next day off because I didn't have class. I didn't have class the next day. Was it a Wednesday night show? I can't remember. If it was a Wednesday night show, I didn't have Thursday classes. And so normally sometimes I would skip my Friday class. Like I only had like 2 classes, I think. I'd skip my Friday classes and I'd go down to Macomb on Wednesday night and crash at my buddy's place and then work Thursday, Friday, and then any events that I had to do on the weekend. Peeps has been locked in that 70 Card Show's basement all night. Uh-oh. John, what are you doing? It's ISU homecoming weekend in Terre Haute. Dan met Mark Grace and Mike Bielecki at a meet and greet at Chicago Ridge Mall around 1990. I remember he signed my 88 Donruss. Nice. Yeah, I've never met Mark Grace. I don't think I've met Mike Bielecki either. I don't think Mike Bielecki has come to any Cubs conventions. George says, if you want to meet Donald, just go to McDonald's. There you go. Good morning, Uncle Rich. Andy says, correct on Rooster. Thank you. Brian says, no. Michael Renicky says, Brett Favre texted me to vote too. I showed my wife. She wasn't impressed. Brian says, careful. Brett doesn't have a track record texting. Oh, yeah. He didn't slip you any dick pics, did he? Kyle says, correct. Jerry Sr. was the Rooster. Aha. Thank you, Kyle and Andy, for confirming. So that's what I had for today. I had some auctions start last night. Hey, baseball. I think I've got some football and basketball autos, but I'll show you what I put up at auction. It was stuff that was just sitting in my eBay store at Buy It Now. And it's like, we're just going to liquidate. So I think it's, there's Kyle's again. I think, where are we at? There we go. Are we on the right tab? There we go. So these were all in the Buy It Now section. I'm like, let's just liquidate. So it's like 120 total auctions that went live last night, all autographs. Elite Extra Edition, Michael Kennedy. I think he's a decent prospect because his first Bowman papers have been selling really well for me. Hidden Gems, Auto, Seth Keller. Danny Soretti of the Tigers. Tampa Bay Rays, Dominic Keegan. Pete Hansen of the Cardinals. PH on that autograph. And then Calvin Ziegler, he writes it all out. How about that? Tucker Toman, the Blue Jays. I've got some pro debut autos here. Glader Figueroa, Cade Doughty. We got some first Bowman Chrome autos. These are all 99-cent starting bids. 99-cent shipping. Shipping is combined. Gabriel Maciel of the Twins. Junior Perez of the A's. Look at all these dudes that are just signing their initials. JP, at least he's got kind of a line where it looks like he might have given some. Normally, I'm not a dude that talks shit on autographs. You got Luis Gonzalez, writes his whole name out. Good for you. And then you got Franiel Baez, who's like, fuck it, FB. There's a couple Cubs players that do that as well. Reggie Preciado signs RP, and Kevin Alcantara, KA. Who else? Jefferson Rojas. Which sucks. Jordy Barley, Jose Bonilla. So a lot of first Bowman Chrome autos. Jackson Cox. How about this? The Candyman. I couldn't believe this didn't sell as a Buy It Now. Michael Olowokandi, Pacific Tigers, University of the Pacific. First overall pick with the Clippers in 98 or 99. I thought that would, I mean, that's nostalgia. First overall pick. The Candyman, Michael Olowokandi. Rony Garcia, we got some rookie autos from Topps Chrome. Sterling Sharp, but not that one. Jansen Junk, great name for a pitcher. Cole Henry, Victor Arano. Kevin Maitan, he was the Acuna before Acuna. A later autograph when he was with the Angels. Some more first Bowman Chrome autos. Oh, these are Cubs. So these are Buy It Nows. Starlin Castro, Sean Dunston, Rizzo. So I've got some Cubs at Buy It Now prices. My guy, Dylan Cease up here. Joe Girardi, minor league card. There's Andre, the Hawk Dawson. Kerry Wood, Hesop Choi, Chris Bryant, Kerry Wood, Ben Christensen, Aaron Weston, Chris Bryant, a couple Chris Bryant rookie cards. Let's go. I've got a whole bunch more autographs. Schwarber, that's a great image. Kyle Schwarber, hands raised in front of the ivy. Vogelbach, Mark Pryor rookie card. More Chris Bryant's. All right, back to the autos. Chris Bubich. Is it Bubich? Fun name. Royals rookie auto. Zach Collins, rated rookie auto for the White Sox. Rylan Bannon, Orioles. Some more rookie chrome autos. Steven Gonsalves, he ended up with the Cubs this past year. Riley Adams, I think Riley Adams might have signed with the Cubs on a minor league deal. Chad Pinder, Brewers auto. Jacob Gatewood, I think he was one of their top prospects 10 years ago. Here's a green auto. Garrett Fulinchek of the Braves, number /99. Nick Neidert, Jalen Palmer, Tristan Pompey, first chrome auto. Hunter Strickland, Topps chrome auto. You can't even see the autograph. It's a dark scan. Another Brewers auto, Xavier Warren. John Duplantier, rookie chrome auto. Milcar Perez, Heritage Miners. Anthony Greer, first chrome auto. Here's a football auto. John Kelly of the Rams, green Pulsar auto. There's Arol Vera. Sam Carlson, Brandon Belak. JP Arancibia, first chrome auto. I think I got the JP Arancibia and the Wes Swackhammer the last time I was in Dallas, which is a year and a half ago. I bought the Wes Swackhammer because I'm like, somebody's going to buy this. And he signs it Wes Swack. Like, that's just a freaking awesome auto, or awesome name. Awesome auto, too. Micah Bello, more Brewers. Where's my Brewers fans at? Michael Renicky, get on this. Micah Bello, chrome auto, refractor to $4.99. Some more Marcus Smith. There's a Ike Anigbogu, Indiana Pacers, rated rookie auto. Cardinals, Ulrich Bojarski, the Tigers, first chrome auto. Here's a Bears rated rookie auto. Riley Ridley, Donruss Green, Pedro Pineda of the A's. Whole bunch of stuff. So there's about 120 autos. These all went live last night, so they will end next Wednesday night. 99centcards.com. I've got basketball cards going up tonight. Here's a White Sox auto, Yolbert Sanchez, Alana Beard. She's a basketball player, I think. Gage Workman, Truck Robinson, basketball player auto. Dylan O'Ray, another Brewer. Reed Trimble, Orioles. Carter Baumler, he's another Oriole. Justin Foscue. Brady McConnell, Josh Minot, basketball. Nick Gordon, All-America Under Armour game. Dan Issel, old school autograph. So there you go. There's another Jefferson Caro. So check out these auctions, 99centcards.com. Auctions went live last night. There's a Skylar Thompson Leaf Draft auto. Auctions went live last night, ending next Wednesday night. And new auctions go up tonight. A bunch of, I've got some LaMelo Ball rookies, Anthony Edwards rookies. I think there might be some Kobe's and Michael Jordans going live in tonight's auctions. Let's see. Where are we at? Porter says, living in a tri-state region is awful during campaign season. I still have an Illinois political jingle stuck in my head from 10 years ago. Judy Bart Topinka. What is she thinking? Oh my God, I remember that. Porter, I'd forgot about that jingle. Oh, damn it, Porter. I remember Judy Bart Topinka. Someone made the excuse that since some of the Bowman autos are from international players, that it's the reason they don't sign well. I think that's BS. By 17 to 18, you can sign your name. I've made that excuse for those players in the past. Now, when they just sign, like I know, like some of the players I mentioned for the Cubs, I know they can sign better than their initials because they've done it. I've seen it. But when they're signing, probably for guys like me, adults, they're like, fuck, he's probably going to sell these on eBay. I don't, but that's what they think. So some players, like I get it. Like I was at Cubs convention. There was a pitcher, a relief pitcher, and he was on the 2016 World Series team. And I had a World Series ball, and I said, can you put World Series champions on inscription? And so he started with a W. And then he kind of looks at me and like, I didn't think he didn't speak English. I wasn't thinking that. And then I said World Series champions. And then he wrote like an S and then like an O or something. So it's like WSO. And then I'm like, oh shit. He doesn't speak English. He doesn't know what I'm asking. So I felt bad. So some players, that is legit. Like, they can't read or write. Some it's just laziness, but also at the same time, have you ever sat down at a title company to sign papers for your house? You're buying a house and you're signing your name and you have to sign like 20 times and it's a pain in the now. Imagine having to sit down and sign 1,000 stickers or 1,000 cards. Ugh. No wonder they sign their initials. They're like, well, yeah, but they're getting paid. They're getting paid like $2, and depending on who it is. Now, Ohtani gets paid more than $2, but most of these Bowman guys, they're getting paid like $2 an auto. Where are we at? Porter says Brett Favre puts his rustlers on, unlike the rest of us. Third leg first. Peep says maybe insert a Chris Berman nickname in each listing. I would think that international players would practice their signatures as young, aspiring athletes sometimes tend to do. Porter, that was a pre-smartphone activity. Vernon Morency had the absolute worst auto. Anthony Richardson is starting to now, and we know Anthony Richardson can sign his name bigger than a little pin drop that he puts on there. So normally I'm not one to criticize autographs and how people sign their autographs, but it is getting kind of ridiculous with just a dot, a line. It's like, okay, this is getting out of hand. It'll be interesting to see if card companies end up ever doing anything about that. Like, okay, you've got to actually sign your name, or I don't know. What are the repercussions? Like, what if they don't abide by the rules? I don't know. Johnny Bench has the best, in my opinion. Johnny Bench, Andre Dawson has a great autograph. So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store and check out my auctions, 99centcards.com. I also added a few hundred cards to the Buy It Now section. Over in the Buy It Now section, you can buy 7 or more at regular price and save 25% off at checkout, 99centcards.com. I do combine shipping on the auctions. You get up to, I think it's 4 days. So I can combine multiple auctions. Basically, if you want any auctions this week, you have through tonight to pay, because I think I do have auctions ending tonight. So I'll get those invoices sent. I try to send invoices at the end of the night. Sometimes I don't get those depending on what I have going on. I'll get those invoices. If you don't get them at the end of the night, I will send an invoice in the morning. So I did send out invoices last night for those that ended last night. And then I'll send another batch of invoices tonight with I think there's a bunch of football refractors ending tonight. So check out those auctions ending this evening at 99centcards.com. And by the way, I did add more Cubs cards to my Collects store. Find me on Collects, Collx. It's an app. Download the app. Find my store, 1 Million Cubs. I added about 300 Cubs cards to the inventory last night and yesterday afternoon. So find some good stuff in there. All right. That's enough for today. Have a wonderful Thursday. We'll do this again. Tomorrow is Friday, and we'll play Name That Player on the free-for-all. So have a wonderful Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow morning.